So how you doing?
Well, I lost a few more hairs, over the last three
Did you?
months. I don't know if you could tell that, but uh, no, it's
You were
doing
looking a
good.
little thinner up top than the last time I saw you.
Yeah, I got a haircut the other day, so
Yeah. So you got a haircut? You didn't get them all cut, just a.
a haircut. I call it every 2 weeks, got to get that trimmed up. It's like,
whether, whether you need it or not, huh?
yep, it's every 2 weeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Leaning In. I'm Eric Whitley with Leading to Lean, and today I'm really excited to have with us corporate maintenance manager for West Liberty Foods, Chad Williams. Chad and I have known each other for quite a while now. We work together. We spent some time in restaurants chatting about maintenance and the way maintenance works. We've spent a lot of time chatting about the world and the way we think the world ought to work, if you will. And so it is really good to have Chad with me today. And I'm excited about our discussion that we're going to have today. So Chad, hey, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to Leaning In.
Well, thanks a lot, Eric. It's always a pleasure to get to catch up with you and what your team's up to.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've actually kind of chatted, you and I. I think once we've kind of, you guys are doing things very well, and we try to support you anytime we can, try to do some training of new people and stuff like that. But it seems like you guys are off on your own and doing some things really, really good.
Yeah, we're doing some really good things here at West Liberty Foods in regards to leading to lean. And I'll be straight honest with you. It's been a long road. It's been a challenging road, but I think we have the support. We have more and more people every day outside of maintenance. Wanting to know, what are you guys doing with leading to lean? What it can do. And so I think my last meeting, and I think you spoke with them too, from our quality team, Eric.
Yeah.
Here, Eric. From a quality standpoint, what can leading to lean do?
Right.
You did the demo with them. Then I've had several sidebar conversations and meetings, and it's like, wow, I never realized you could do that. And I said, yeah, we, really, we're evolving. We constantly evolve. I'm constantly looking at the data. What can we do better? And I push the guys to get better every day.
Right.
Or every week. One little thing. So yeah, it's an awesome tool, and just the flexibility it does give you. And obviously with the past several months with COVID,
Yeah.
It gives us the remote capability. I can be anywhere in the world. I can be in my home office. I can be sitting in an airport. I can be sitting in a McDonald's, and I can access the information. I can see what's going on from my mobile device. I can get alerts. So I think it's proven the point where even if you're not in the office 9 to 5 every day, you can still be engaged with what's happening in your facilities.
All right.
So
let's talk a little bit. I mean, I know firsthand knowledge that this COVID scenario that we're in when it comes to business and manufacturing has really changed the way people have done work. But I know it has especially impacted food industries, right? And food service industries like you guys. Talk a little bit about, if you will, kind of some of the major changes you've had to make maintenance wise in this time during COVID. What are some of those things that kind of stick out to you?
Some of the biggest things we've done is obviously our reactive maintenance has gone up. It's not something we typically like to do. We like to be working on planned maintenance activities greater than 80% of the time.
Right.
But it seemed like when I think it was around the middle of March when COVID really started coming on, and the ability for our maintenance teams, with everything being thrown at them, it's like, okay, what are we going to install for social distancing?
Mm.
Just in a break room, for example, what are we going to do there?
Mm. Mm.
Um, basically from our health and wellness areas, our office areas, what are we doing? Our outside common areas, for people that want to maybe go outside during their lunch break. Maybe they
Mm.
smoke, maybe they don't smoke.
Mm.
Okay, what are we doing? So, a lot of things, over 3 months, we were jumping through hoops, and you know prior to this day, well, I think our journey, we're going on 6 years now with Leading Lean. Prior to
Right.
that, it was just we had a system. It wasn't very robust, not very user friendly like Leading to Lean is.
Yeah.
There was hundreds of emails going around, I want this, or this person needs this, or you know did we get this on order? Well, with Leading to Lean and what we have today, with all this reactive stuff, we were trying to manage, uh, obviously with the work order module. Hey, we're here to help you, but you need to help us put in a work order.
Right.
That way,
Right.
we have the visibility. Okay, what's important? Um, do we need something ordered? Do we need and obviously trying to get a sheet of Lexan over the
Yeah.
last
Right.
couple,
Right.
you
What's
know,
like impossible? Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stuff's like clear gold right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
So when you say reactive, do you mean like reacting to the things that you have to do in order to meet like these COVID demands? Is that kind of what you're talking
yeah, that's kind of exactly, and you okay, where's the labor going to come from? Do we
about?
have to source it out to a third party? What's our schedule look like? Can we uh, not do X, A, and so we can do this B to support
Mm.
these COVID initiatives? Because,
Mm.
at the onset, it was like, okay, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this, and obviously, our leadership team was coming up with COVID protocols, and for the first few weeks, those were changing. As we took recommendations from the CDC and different, our local state governments. So okay, we've done this, now we need to do this. So our maintenance team stepped up to the plate. We had to put some other stuff on hold, and we were constantly reacting to different situations in regards to COVID. But I don't think we would have been as successful without having a tool like Leading to Lean,
Yeah.
where we could manage all those
Right.
items coming in. I mean, because you look at some of our plant engineers, maintenance superintendents, they're being pulled in 4 different directions. We
Right.
we have to support the operations, and obviously, what a lot of people don't understand is, we had we had positive cases. We had isolation protocols in, for our workforce.
Mm.
Uh, and when you really truly look at maintenance, we're all over plants. We're in every nook and cranny of our facilities. So, we had people in our maintenance staff that were out on either, positive COVID, or, were put in quarantine due to, somebody else
Mm-hmm.
being positive. We had those protocols. So that it was we were stretched pretty thin there for a while.
Mm.
So we were able to manage and work through this. Now we've kind of plateaued. We're kind of, we've adjusted some of our schedules to, obviously incorporate our COVID policies across our company. And now we're kind of getting back to the normal. Okay, we've got everything in place, and now it'll just be a routine activity that we have to maintain these.
Have you seen like your metrics move, like downtime? I mean, and I don't know what metrics you're following now, but like mean time between failures, and have you seen those spike because of all this reactive stuff?
Yeah, so that's a good question, Eric. So probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I attended the MRM program with North Carolina State in conjunction with the Marshall Institute, and I think there's 164 different metrics you can measure maintenance by.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so one thing I looked at is like, okay, kind of taking a step back, because I like to keep it simple. If you have
Right.
too much data, you're going to create a paralysis in people. So I kind of really looked at the basic core maintenance principles, and I track those. And let me, before I misspeak, I'll pull it up here on my other monitor here. So, and you know what I really hate? I got like 3 monitors sitting here, and I lose my mouse all the time. I'm just like, where'd my damn mouse go?
You
It's
know,
like,
if
okay.
I
2 hours later.
So kind of, getting back to our KPIs, what we look at. So some of the important things that I felt, and this is just an opinion, and some of my experiences over the course of my career. So what I'm looking at is on a weekly basis is I look at our number of PMs we have that are past due. I look at our weekly on-time PM completion percentage, PM effectiveness. And I think that's a key one that, a lot of people will overlook. And basically it's just your PM effectiveness is just the deficiencies that are found during your PMs.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you what is the metric there?
Yeah. And that kind of tells you, it'll tell you is your PM program effective. I mean, because guess what? It's, if you're never finding anything, maybe you're doing it too much.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're not looking at the right things. So
so there's actually, I don't know what your number is, but I've heard in the past that the number is like 85% of all your planned work orders should be discovered during the PM process.
That's true. So typically a metric I go by from our course at the, our MRM course we went through, I look at my threshold is like 30%. So if I do 100 PMs over the course of a period of time, I should be finding 30 deficiencies, which I'm generating into planned maintenance activities at some near future point in time. Or it potentially could be done. I'd look at obviously resource utilization. Are we utilizing our maintenance staff correctly? And I'm looking at preventative and predictive PMs that have no labor applied or labor less than the estimated time applied. So, I don't need we don't need to go in the no labor applied because we all know what's going on there. Right. It's like, hey, we just closed it out. We didn't do it.
Right.
Or it's critical when you look at a PM that's done. We estimate every job. So if we say this job takes an hour, and I consistently have one guy on a shift doing that same job in 30 minutes or less, or maybe I have another guy doing it takes him an hour and a half or 2 hours to do it. Right. That's a trigger there. So I think that's a key metric. It's either it's a training piece, or we're not effectively doing it, or and in one situation I found out, I actually went out and talked to a guy in one of our facilities. It's like, look, I see this PM you do every week, and it says it takes an hour, just for an example, and you're doing it in 30 minutes. Why? Well, this is really, all these tasks are really not applicable.
Yeah.
I was like, well, why not? And this guy's been on the same equipment for 10 years.
Right.
And, it's like, okay, what didn't we do? We didn't evaluate that PM. It was a set, remember Ron Popeil, to set it and forget it?
Yeah.
That's what it was. We put it in and we forgot about it. We never went back. And, I was like, well, go to your supervisor, tell him, hey, this is not applicable today, or we need to add this. And I said, because what I'm seeing on here is not truly a clear representation of what you're actually doing. And he goes, well, does that matter? I said, well, yeah, it does matter. So granted, let's say something happens to you, you're no longer with the company. We have a new guy come in, and you've got 10 years of experience on this equipment. This new guy's going to come in, and he's going to go right to that checklist, look at the technical work instructions, and he's going to be doing stuff that's not applicable. Let's get in there and do the things we have to do and that are required to do. And
how important it is to have the input of the guys and the people that are actually doing the work right on the machine, right, when it comes to that stuff. So yeah.
So basically, and I think that covers, and then so I'm looking at utilization. in my opinion, those are the core principles of industrial maintenance, what we're doing every day. And I look at it kind of like a good friend of mine, Dr. John Ross, with the Marshall Institute. It's kind of like baseball. I know you played baseball when you were younger.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, when you're starting out in T-ball, what are you learning to do? You're learning to throw the ball, hit the ball, and catch the ball.
Yeah.
You get up to the next level. You're still working on throwing the ball, hitting the ball, catching the ball. You get up into high school, maybe, there's something else you work on. Put something in your tool bag maybe you're working on a slider or a curveball. You get up in the college and the pro levels. Yeah, you're adding more things to your tool bag. But in essence, what are you focusing every day on? You're throwing the ball, hitting the ball, and catching the ball. So if you do the basics really well, everything else should fall in line. That's the approach I've taken.
Everything else is just an offshoot of those basic root skills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think, when we look at these and, what we publish these, we have charts, we export the data from L2L, we put it in nice, everybody likes charts, and
Right.
I hate building charts, I can look at numbers and tell you where we're trending and going, but everybody likes a chart. And I share these with everybody in our company, from our VP of operations all the way down to, the technicians on the floor. They can see these. It's not secretive data, and we look at we compare our facilities across the board. But I think just getting back to the basics, I think sometimes we just get so engrossed and it's like, how much inventory have we? Well, what's our ERV value? That, 2 to 3% of our ERV,
right.
We can get that technical, but I'm just a firm believer of keeping to the basics. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I'm just a simple guy like that.
You're just an Iowa farm boy is all you are there, Chad.
Yeah. No, I'm an import to Iowa.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Southern Michigan farm guy.
Southern Michigan farm
Yeah.
boy. Yeah. I'm just a simple boy. Yeah.
Simple.
Hey, talk a little bit about like during this process, what have you done to make sure that you're, and not necessarily during COVID, but during this whole journey that you're on, what do you do to make sure that your guys have the right skills and the knowledge, and how are you bringing new people on board? Talk a little bit about that process for me.
Yeah, and it's a struggle. Obviously nobody in the skilled trades, especially in our business, and I don't think any industry is immune to it in the United States today. There is a very severe shortage of skilled trades.
Serious.
It is. I mean, and I even talked with a lot of our OEM equipment companies that even their service, they struggle. They're struggling out there. So, we've done a few things over the last couple of years. We've sat down, we've created a training program where we've got the funding earmarked for our plants to, maybe take a guy that has a basic skill set, basic knowledge, and, build him up. Is it through, dedicated OEM equipment training? Is it sending him out for some other specialized training through a local community college, or some maybe it's a vendor that sells us electrical components and they provide PLC training.
Yeah.
So we've given the opportunity down to the plant level. It's like, okay, guys, you have these dollars earmarked. These are for your maintenance and maintenance training only. Where back in, prior to that, it was kind of a little bit of free for all. It was like whoever, shouted the most with their, facility manager or training department managers got the funding.
Right.
So that's that's one big thing we've had in the last couple of years that have helped us. Obviously, out in your area out there, Utah, Bridge, I can't speak I
Yeah,
speak very high,
Bridgerland has
Bridgerland, very
the applied
highly.
technology centers that we have there
Yeah.
in Utah. Yeah,
And I've actually I've
yeah,
gotten to go over there and tour the facility. And I know a couple guys in our Utah facility, Ted Richards, who is now the facility manager out there, and Scott Ritter is now the plant engineer. They've done outstanding work
yeah.
providing training to their team members. They've actually brought, the Bridgerland training trailers on site where, maybe a couple hours a week, they're getting their guys out there. They're going through different trainings that Bridgerland provides. Awesome program.
So awesome, man. So tell me, I want to tap a little bit, kind of maybe to wrap it up here. I want to tap in a little. What are some of the things food industry wise, if you were to really kind of talk to a maintenance group or a group of people that were listening, food industry wise, what are some of the most important things that you've learned from a maintenance standpoint that you really have to drive home with your group when it comes to doing maintenance, being safe and all that?
The big thing is, tool cleanliness, keeping your tools clean, ensuring when you're done with the job, they don't have grease, they don't have, product. If you put it on the floor, we require our guys sanitize and clean their tools every day. I mean, that's the whole toolbox. That's not, whatever you use that day. It's like, hey, you're going in, you're going to clean that toolbox. You need to be aware of when you're going from one job to the next. I mean, is that a potential for cross-contamination? So it may require you to go remove your PPE and put on fresh PPE. It's just not going from one job to one job to one job. There's safety requirements in place. That is the biggest thing in regards to maintenance in the food business, is understanding what you're working on right now, and does the potential exist where you could cross-contaminate another product. So, because we run a variety of products in our facilities, we have dedicated technologies in our facilities for specific products, and we don't typically say, hey, have one maintenance guy, this is your job all day long, this is only your one area.
Right.
It's just not that way anymore. You got to have multiple skilled technicians that can work on a vacuum pump up to a thermoforming machine, to a slicer, to a high pressure pasteurization machine. But you have to be awareness of what you're doing and the upstream and downstream effect from going job to job. And it always goes back to good manufacturing and sanitation procedures.
Right. I think awareness is probably the word for 2020, I would think.
Yeah, I think that covers a whole lot of stuff there.
Yeah, back to our political discussion, right? So I agree with you. So, hey man, I really truly appreciate you taking time today to join me for some Q&A here, and just to kind of reconnect with you. It's been awesome, and I look forward to the time where we can go sit down, have some wings, and talk about stuff that just really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That'd be awesome.
That would be great, Eric.
Yeah.
And, I appreciate you having me on. It was a pleasure as always to talk with you and all your team members there at Leading to Lean.
Yeah. Yeah. We love West Liberty Foods. We love the people there, and we're glad you're part of our team, and we're just totally excited to constantly be able to tap into your knowledge and your expertise and just all of the stuff that And so, again, do a shout out for your podcast. I want people to come over and listen to your podcast. So tell us again, the name of your podcast and where we can find it.
Two Guys in a Toolbox, and it's on all the major podcasts, apps, whatever you want to call it, sites out there. So,
and if anybody has any questions, they can get on there and contact you there and ask questions. And
yep,
knowledge.
I have my email address on there. I've actually kind of been thinking about doing more what you're doing, maybe going to a vlog or something. But a lot of people are kind of camera shy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
am.
know.
I'm a little camera shy. So
Are you?
yeah, I'm camera shy and I have a problem talking to people, so.
Yeah. You know what's really the hardest part of doing a vlog or a podcast?
Yeah.
The first 30 seconds.
Yeah, right.
It's getting the intro down.
Yeah. Getting
And
over that uncomfortable point. So
yeah, I think the first one I did, I think I probably recorded and deleted it 60 times.
yeah.
And,
Wow.
and then I finally did one, and I sent it over to a good friend of mine. He's like, exactly, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Be original, be authentic. Don't try to be somebody else. Just be yourself.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is you just gotta say what you want to say, and hopefully it comes out well, and people want to hear what you want to hear, and it's just important to just say what you want to say. So, but it's great. It's a great format. I know people are loving these ones that we're doing for Leaning In, and it's been a real help for us to be able to kind of connect and hear what people, what the industry is wanting and what the industry is saying. From us, from professional maintenance professionals who have taught maintenance for years. It's good to know that people are still concerned about the trades. People are concerned about technicians, and people are concerned about still how to do maintenance out there. It really is an often overlooked critical part of manufacturing, and yeah, it's good to be part of it.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, brother.
Yeah. Hey, Chad Williams, West Liberty Foods corporate maintenance manager.
Yeah, or just jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Jack. Yeah. All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Thanks,
it was
man.
great, Eric. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. If you like what you're seeing here on Leaning In, please hit that like and subscribe button. We'll keep bringing you more great interviews with industry-leading experts and more great content on lean manufacturing.